Hello ASS, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do mostly paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and also turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Alright you guys, so I am back once again reading some more scary stories that you guys submitted to me. So I am really excited to get through more of these stories that you guys sent over, and as always, if you want to send in your stories, the best way to do that is to send them to my email beyondbellezaparanormal@gmail.com. That is the only place that I check for these stories. I don't check them in any other of my social medias, just so you guys know and to get that out of the way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the storytelling. Let me just pull up my email real quick and put my phone on airplane mode, because as always, you guys know, well, for the most part, you guys know that my phone freaks out for some reason when you see that when my phone's next to it. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the frequency. Okay, so here is story number 1. This one says, "Hi, my name is Astrid Ideos. This story happened around 2019. Me and my cousin were in my room watching YouTube videos on my bed. I felt really weirded out for no reason, so I turned around looking at my closet. My closet doesn't have any doors. My closet is pretty big that I could fit a Barbie house, which, by the way, I did put my Barbie doll house in the closet. No, I'm not a child. I just want to save it for my future child. Okay, moving on. When I looked at my closet, I saw this weird thing behind my doll house. It was a dark shadow figure with the most scary face I have ever seen. You know the scary TikTok video of that one girl is showing her dog in her closet, which she turns to show the dog, and the dog looks demonic? Here's a link, and I'll show you guys the video that she's talking about, which I won't watch right now, but you guys will get to see that.
I've been getting a lot of questions about my dog Cracker. He's half Cocker Spaniel and Australian Shepherd. I rescued him. He's from Japan. Do you want a treat? Yeah?
It looked exactly like that. I didn't panic, so I decided just to stay in place. Later on, my cousin realized that something was off with me and said, "Did you see something? Are you okay?" I looked at my closet again, still seeing the figure. I told my cousin no, because I didn't want to make her panic. She later told me that I was crying. The thing is, I never realized it until she pointed it out. We later left the room, and when oh my god. Sorry, the rain scared the crap out of me. Like, I just had a bunch of loud ass raindrops hit the window and it freaked me the hell out. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. When I came back, the thing was gone. I have moved houses since then, and I have more creepy stories that happened inside that house. So if you want more, message me. I love your videos, and I hope you put this in one of your videos. Sorry for the bad grammar, by the way. I kind of gave up in the end. Astrid Borel. Oh my gosh, it's okay. Thank you so much for sending that story in. And that is super creepy. I want to go and see the video later on. But I'm pretty sure either way I'm going to be freaked out by it, even without seeing it. Just like imagining it in my head. Like, no ma'am. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on to story number 2. It says, "Hey, my name is Lisbeth. You can say my name if you read this one in one of your videos. Sorry it's so long." You guys don't have to apologize for long stories, because, you know, the longer the better. It's okay, even if they're short. Okay, this all started when I was little. We moved into this house that we are currently living in right now. We used to live in apartments, so I would always sleep with my parents. But since this house had 4 bedrooms and I had a newborn sister, I had to start sleeping in my own room. They made my room the nicest they could do to make me stay in there. At first, my mom would sleep in there until I went to sleep. Then she would leave when she would think I'm asleep. Then I would wake up and start crying because I felt like someone was watching me. I would always feel like a presence in that room. When I was around 9 or 10, my little sister started sleeping with me, and I still could not sleep. One day I felt bad for not letting my parents sleep. I would just stare at my door and I saw someone just peek their head from the other room to the room I was sleeping in. I wasn't scared, I was just confused. It looked like my mom, but just really pale and with a white dress on, like her wedding dress. I think the reason is that in the restroom is right next to that room and there's 2 mirrors facing each other. My parents don't believe in that stuff, they just think I'm making it up, but I'm not. Another small thing that happens were that I hear footsteps running around the house, not like normal steps, like high heels. And another time, our mailman saw a lady in white peeking through the car windows. What do you think? Thank you so much. I'm sorry this is so long. Hopefully this makes it to a vid. I love you. Love you too, girl. And I honestly probably think that you were seeing something that nobody else was in that house. Maybe something bad happened there with a woman. But there are a lot of stories of women in white who are, just suffering and they can't get out of this cycle that they're in. But that's still like super creepy, especially being so young and seeing that. Okay, moving on to story number 3. Alright, this one is sent to me by Judith Valencia. Shout out to you, girl. Thank you so much for always sending me stories. And this one is called Historia del Taxista, or the story of the taxi person. Okay. It says, Hola amiguis, I'm sure many are familiar with an urban legend similar to this story. The story happened in San Juan de Alima, Michoacan, Mexico, in 1985, to an acquaintance of my dad, someone he knew of when he was younger. My dad couldn't remember his name since it was years ago. Well, this acquaintance was a taxi driver at this time, and this night he had picked up a woman. Nothing unusual, but he did remember that this woman had an attitude. The very first moment she came in the car, she was cussing him out under her breath. But he pretended not to hear her until she said, ¿Qué horas son? Y no te hagas pendejo. She asked him, what time is it? And don't act stupid. Or don't act like a dumbass, basically. Damn, that's rude as hell. So the man looked down at his watch and he said that his watch went up in flames. As the woman still snickering, he looked back at her and he says that her mouth and eyes bursted into flames. As frightened as he was, he left his car with the lady inside. He got to a town by the name of Ojo de Agua on foot, and there's some family of his resided there. And that's where he let them know what happened. Word ran quickly in that town, and people say that the man went crazy after this happened to him. My dad isn't sure whatever happened to him after that. This was a short story, but creepy, at least for us. What do you think, girl? I asked my mom and dad to tell us scary stories from Mexico. They agreed, so I have plenty more for you. Te mandamos mucho love and good vibes your way. Thank you so much, girl. You are always super, super sweet. And thank you so much for reaching out to your family to tell me some more scary stories from Mexico, because those are honestly my favorite. I always love a good story from there because I feel like they always have like the most creative and more like scary stories that I ever hear. And this one is a really good one too, because maybe it was somebody who in that area, maybe she like was doing some kind of like witchcraft, or maybe she was burned or somebody burned her, who knows what it could have been. But if that was me and that happened to me, I don't know if I would be able to live with that experience, because that sounds traumatizing as hell. But thank you so much, girl, for sending that in. Now let's go ahead and move on to our 4th story. We're on number 4, right? Yeah, number 4. This one says, Hello Brenda, I would like to remain anonymous. I have recently found your channel and I know that you like talking about paranormal stories, so I decided to share one with you. The story that I'm about to tell you did not happen to me, but to my high school teacher. So this happened at the time when it's parent conference day. Teachers have to stay until 6 p.m. My high school has 2 buildings, Building A and Building B. This happened on Building A. Mind you that each building has 3 floors, so this happened on the 3rd floor. So before my teacher was getting ready to leave, he had a chair outside that was holding the door from closing. Once the door closes, it's locked, and when you want to get in, you have to knock in order for someone to open the door, which can get annoying. As soon as my teacher comes out of the class to put the chair back in, getting ready to leave, in the corner of his eye down the hall, he can see a woman in a white dress with long black messy hair covering her face. Confused, he tells her, "You need help?" She doesn't answer, so he said it again, this time in Spanish. "¿Necesitas ayuda?" She still didn't answer. Shocked as he gets his things ready and leaves, but when he looked back into the end of the hall, she was gone. The exit to go downstairs is in front of the classroom, so it's good that he didn't have to go to the end of the hall. He told us the next day, and the look in his eyes was fear and confusion. If you share this one in your next videos, I will send you more stories. Thank you and take care. Thank you so much for sending that. That is creepy as hell. Like, I could not imagine seeing that when I'm all by myself in like an empty building. Like, oh no, man. It gives me very much Grudge vibes, and I don't like it. Like, that movie actually genuinely scares the crap out of me. Like, you know that video? Sorry, I thought I heard something. You know that video of when they're watching her walking down the hallway in the security camera footage? That's like one of the scariest videos to me from that movie. But anyways, thank you so much for sending that in, and I would love to get some more stories in from you. Let's go ahead and move on to our 5th story. This one says, "Hi Brenda, it's Anelia with another late night experience. Just to be clear, all my stories have been in the same bedroom at my parents' home that's over 90 years old. I had woken up to use the bathroom, and my mom had a nightlight for us so the room wouldn't be dark. From the light of the nightlight, I could see a doll. It was standing on the edge of our computer desk. I stood up from bed, and it's hard to explain, but if I could only explain it now, it looks like Chucky. At that time, I was 7 years old. It had scars on its face, brown messy hair, and holding what looked like a knife. So I woke up my mom with the excuse to take me to the bathroom, hoping she would also see this doll. But again, she couldn't. It had disappeared. When we got close to the spot where I had seen the doll, I took a closer look to see if something could have been making it appear that what I had seen, but I couldn't explain my experience once again. Thank you, Brenda, for reading my story. It was short but scary." No, I hate dolls. We're not gonna do that here. No. That is hella scary. Also, like, what is this presence or this manifestation trying to do here? Like, what is their goal? I don't really understand. That's so creepy. I guess just to scare you, potentially. So she actually has a second story that she sent in, one right after the other. So I'm going to go ahead and read this one. It says, "Hi Brenda, I have a story that happened outside of our house at night. I was 9, my older sister was 10, and my cousin 12. We decided to have a sleepover outside in our jungle gym that night. My sister had asked me to run inside to get some snacks and some blankets, but I had a very weird feeling something was watching me from inside the tube slide, because I had heard little taps from inside when we first were heading up. I immediately thought it was our dogs, so I looked around and didn't see them. They were put away in their kennels. So I asked my sister if it was them making that tapping noise, and they said no. So they told me again to get the snacks. When I went down using the other slide, I had to look towards the tube side. That's when I saw a little girl inside the slide. She had black hair, white gown, and grayish skin tone, and was sitting in an upright position holding her knees while inside the slide. So I ran back up the steps on the side of the jungle gym. I had told my sister and cousin for us to go back inside because I had seen something. They hurled down the steps quickly, leaving me behind. I could still hear the tapping as I ran to the house. This is a picture of our jungle gym. I circled in red where I seen the little girl. And then this is a picture of her jungle gym. I don't think there's an actual apparition in that picture. She's just showing us like what area she saw the little girl in. But that's creepy as hell. Girl, you have so many experiences of just, you know, like just stuff happening to you. And like the fact that you can see this, maybe there's more to it. Maybe you have a gift or something, because that's a lot of experiences to have. Or, you know, maybe it's just lingering energy in the place that you live in. Okay, let's move on to our next story, which is, what number are we on? Again, I forgot. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think we're technically on number 7. All right, this one is titled My Haunted Deck. It says, "Hi Brenda, my name is Lily and I absolutely love your channel and all of your videos." Thank you so much, Lily. "I have experienced paranormal activity quite a bit. However, most of the instances occur around one specific area of my house, my deck. I thought I'd share my 2 most recent stories. Story number 1. It was very late at night and extremely cold out when this happened. I was sitting in my living room couch that faces the window out to the deck. My blinds were about half open, so I was staring into the dark of the night. However, I couldn't see anything in specific. I'm scrolling on my phone when suddenly I hear rapid stomping all across my deck. The footsteps were not an animal, as they were patterned in the same fashion as how a human would walk, and they sounded like whoever this was angry. I heard it so loud and clear, yet my dog, who barks at anything and everything, didn't come rushing over, barking like she usually would. I was frozen in fear and felt paralyzed in the position I was in. I heard the heavy walking again, and this time I heard my chimes chime 3 times, then walking again, and the chimes went 3 times. This pattern continued for a while until I finally yelled for my mom. Maybe the pattern was all in my head, as I was just paranoid, and the chimes going off the way they did was a coincidence. But it still freaked me out, lol. My mom then woke my dad up, and my dad had searched with a flashlight around the entire house. Around the deck on the grass there was snow, however our deck was shoveled, but my dad had looked for footprints on the snow around the deck, and nothing. Story number 2. This happened just a few weeks ago. I was standing in the kitchen after just getting home, and I was on my phone. I suddenly heard a nail tap on the window that is on the farther end of the kitchen. The deck stretches across the kitchen and living room. The nail tapped twice and very quickly, as if the intent were to get my attention. I start to walk over to the window and stop about 6 feet away, when I see a clearish white shadow twirl away from the window. Though it scared the living shit out of me, I just hope whatever it is good and means no harm. Girl, that is so freaking terrifying. I wonder what is going on. Maybe there is something trying to like lure you to go outside like when you're by yourself, but that is scary as hell. And I would love to know if there's any more stuff like that happens to you in regards to the deck. If anything else has happened recently, please let me know, because that is so intriguing and so freaking creepy. Like I just can't imagine seeing that when I'm by myself. I can't imagine any of these paranormal experiences, honestly. But anyways, guys, I am going to wrap it up here. That is going to be the last story from me. So I hope that you did enjoy them. And before I do end today's video, the comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. I always really do appreciate it, and it makes my day. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. Now, with all of that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Hopefully I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.